in the main mastermind area. All right, so welcome, Annalisa. Let's kick this off for today, April 13th, 2021. Bitcoin is zooming, in case any of you are wondering. I just see that out of the corner of my eye, get distracted. So the topic today will be setting up conversion parts. The conversion parts, I don't know if there's a better word for that.
The parts of conversion? The elements of conversion?
Yeah, I was going to say conversion elements. It was conversion elements. Conversion elements.
The steps to setting up.
For our investors, are the new listings campaign. And I always want to kind of keep the context here, especially for people who are just coming into this whole thing, that usually when we're talking about these funnels or these growth systems, we are following sort of a methodology that's documented inside of the next level members area. So I'll remind you all that we kind of have this broken down into two phases where you're going to generate leads, and then you're going to cause conversations and closings with a series of things that you do to engage the leads and get them working with you. So today is kind of the second part of a webinar we did last week, about a week ago, called Investors Are the New Listings. And the whole theory here was that if we ran ads to attract investors, we're naturally going to get people who own homes into our fold. And that's it. So I'm just going to show you the ad real quick here on the screen, kind of make this bigger. For those of you who haven't caught that content yet, basically this follows our basic formula where it just says Pinellas County multi-unit investment properties, priced a little price range. I gave a little bit of extra here if you're looking for a place to put your cash that isn't stocks, bonds, or Bitcoin. You might like this list. And over the first few days, about the first day, we got 5 leads. And then I realized, if you guys remember from the session, I didn't have the Zap current all the way set up. I had a little snag. So I turned the ad off. The whole weekend went through. I totally forgot about it. And then this morning I said, oh yeah, I need to. So I set up the Zap and I turned the ad back on this morning. But 5 leads at $6.51 a piece for this niche. I'm happy so far.
It's pretty tidy. It's pretty good.
Yeah. Now I'm hoping it comes down. But again, this messaging, what we're trying to do is get people who own homes into our fold. So it's kind of a side angle listing lead. And we're trying to start the conversation from the investment side of things. So I'm happy at $6. That's the ad. I have the link to that previous session. You guys can always find it on our YouTube channel, all our latest stuff here. So you'll see that is right here. And just for anybody watching live, just so you have it, it's also in the next level members area. And I'll just paste it to everybody watching live. You can go ahead and bookmark that and watch that later to see how we created the ad if you want. So let's get that in here. And Annalisa, you want to drop that over onto the Facebook side too?
Yes, sirree.
Cool. That's the context. We've got this ad running. We have the leads should have been coming in, those first 5, because I was super sloppy and kind of forgot to go back and make sure my Zap was set up. Those first 5 did not land in the dashboard here. That's kind of a lesson learned. I confess I do that almost all the time. It's kind of you run the ad part and then you forget to go check and make sure that everything's working smoothly and it's getting in. It's just kind of par for the course. So what I can do later is I can manually input those 5 leads, or I can upload them. It's kind of a thing I have to do. But this morning I went ahead and I just created a demo investment lead with the hashtag that we were using from last week, so that I can then start to kind of show how we're going to build the follow-up. So how it's going to look is people are going to come in and they're going to have the hashtag that you set up when you zap the lead in. And then from there, what you can do with kdcor is you could set up this series, find my tab here, of follow-up conversation causing conversion elements, starting with a smart campaign, automatic hashtag alerts, and then all different kinds of retargeting, sending weekly stuff. But today I'm going to limit it to setting up this quick smart campaign, the auto hashtag alerts, and we'll do a simple Google display retargeting ad.
Awesome.
Sound good?
Yes.
Okay, got a sip of my go-go juice here. Let's load up, and we'll start by creating a quick smart campaign. And for those of you who this is basic for, I apologize. I know there's a little bit of repetition in what we're doing, but I always think it's good to kind of redo it and just kind of see this done a handful of times. And we usually get around to doing this once every few weeks. So let's go ahead and now go to Marketing Autopilot. I am in the new version of the dashboard. I find this right here, just an editorial, you got to click this hamburger to expand it. I wonder if there's a reason for that, but I'd rather it be expanded. How do you feel about that, Annalisa?
To me, I like to have it as a default expanded.
Yeah, because I was clicking around, like, oh, get it open. Then you got to do that.
Yeah.
So there we go. You get it open. You click to marketing autopilot right here. We go into our smart campaigns section and we click manage campaigns.
I
And
love
I'm going
how
to go
this
ahead and
library is set up. Love it.
yeah. Now I'm going to add a campaign fresh, but I will highlight that I could copy in this conversation starter. And maybe I should, since everybody has this now.
Yeah, I add it to people's accounts all the time, all day, every day. It's great.
All right. So the way to do that, I'm going to go to the kdcor library then, right? Okay. So I'll go to kdcor library, and we're going to start with our base kind of conversation starting campaign. And all I did is I typed in conversation and it popped up right here.
Yep.
I'm going to click add to library, right?
Yep. Yeah, it makes it so easy. And it's good to go as is, or you can finesse it to your needs, which is fantastic.
Yep. So what we're going to do is we're going to make this campaign kind of work for the niche that we're working right now. So I'm going to click into that. Remind me, I got to remember to turn it on at the end. Yep. And the first thing I need to do is I need to go right here on the right. I want to adjust my campaign settings that trigger this campaign. So I'm going to click edit. And I'm going to do hashtag is. And the hashtag I used was income properties when I set up the lead campaign.
Right.
So whenever that comes in, I'll now click next. This is a buyer focused at lead. I'll change my name to income property. Starter. Income property. The always run, I like to turn to no. And then now I've got my settings properly set up.
Yeah, it's ready to rock and roll.
Yeah. So now we're going to go in, and this conversation starter, we've done webinars about this. You can find it in Next Level. We have webinars about the science behind all this in the YouTube channel. Probably about a month or two ago, we did that. But the first thing we're going to do is we're going to change this first text. And in my mind, this is kind of the most important part of this whole thing, just my opinion. And if I click and view the kind of default one, it says, hi, lead first name. Thanks for looking at some properties on my website a few minutes ago. Are you actually thinking about a move or just browsing for now? Now, this isn't exactly relevant to this type of lead because it was an income property lead. So I'm going to go in and I'm actually going to get rid of the template here, and I need to create a new template, right? So I'm going to go, and I'm going to get a little lost because of this new way that this
looks. Are you looking to create one or add one right now?
Well, I need to create a new template so that I can add it to the to that action. So
you need to go backwards.
Yep. I need to go to my campaigns and templates.
Yep.
And then I need to add a template. That would be handy. I'm going to mention to the guys, that might be handy on that previous screen if I could add the template right from there.
It would be very handy.
Yep. So add template, text template, template scope. I think I'm fine making it the whole company. Anybody at the company can use it. Income property, conversation starter, initial text. Now, can I still use my brackets in the new?
You should be able to.
I can. So shift bracket will bring up these
curly brackets
merge field. So it'll say, hi, thanks for accessing the income properties list on our site just now. Are you actively looking for an investment property in Pinellas County?
And I'm dropping the link to the conversation starting smart campaigns for everyone.
Yeah, actually, my volume's a little low. I'm going to turn it up because I can't hear you too well. Here we go. Okay. So that's kind of it. Hi, acknowledge the thing they just did, and then ask them a quick question. And then I could just do the agent name is one of the merge tags in here. So agent full name. And if I wanted to, I could add forever Florida real estate, but I'm just going to do the agent name. We'll do it. Like so. So I'll add that. Now I'll go back to my campaigns into my income property conversation starter. And now I can edit this and I can change out the template that's getting used.
Mhm.
Income property. There we go. And it'll come, you can just preview it. It'll go from my agent to the contact and I can run it. I like to just do it 3 minutes later. Feels more natural.
Yep.
So, update. Now, minute 4, we have an email that goes out. I'm going to change this to. This is kind of relevant, but not really. You know, it's not good for this. Sometimes you can get away with using the same campaign and messages for multiple types of campaigns, but I am going to go and swap this out. So we'll go back here. Templates, add template email. Income property initial email. And then I like to, when getting the list, you can give them the list right away, right? So I can say your income properties list. The other thing I could do is I could use the advanced editor and send a video. And this is something, if you're comfortable on video, you could use the core video integration, go to the advanced editor and attach a video that talks directly to people. But in the interest of time, I'll just make a simple text email right now. Now let's. Hi. And then the personalization is right here. This little kind of thing that looks like a sun. Thanks for accessing. Thanks for accessing the income properties list just now. You can click here anytime to see the latest properties that have come on the market. Latest multi-unit on the market. In the meantime, feel free to email or text me at. And then I'm going to try here. Let's merge in the agent's number because I'm kind of building this in the context that this lead could go to any agent at the company. So I can merge in agent cell phone anytime. And then again, we could do the signature, agent full name. Oh, you know what? I'm forgetting. I'll just do agent first name. And then we're going to include the signature. So the agent first name makes it feel personal. Agent first name. P.S. We can add another question. Just curious. Are you a seasoned investor or looking to buy your first opportunity? We can have a little fun. You know, we talk about this a lot. PSs get really a lot of attention is paid to them. So,
and before you move on, there's someone in our Facebook group, Israel. I believe don't want to say their name incorrectly. Israel Cynthia. They were saying that sometimes they have communication so quickly with their contacts that they get that email about the investors, and people are like, "Hey, you just talked to me yesterday. I'm not an investor." So people can, like what you're demonstrating is people can really go in here and easily update these. So if you have a quick communication path, you can edit this to whatever you need it to read. So you can try to avoid situations like that. Or once you establish communication, switch them over to a different campaign.
Yeah, definitely. And when it does happen, just blame the tech. Just say, hey, we use a lot of automation, apologies, I'll get that fixed, and then you go change the campaign. Yeah. So go back to the campaigns here. Yeah, a lot of times those texts get replied to really quick. That's a really good point. And so maybe let's kind of adjust for that as we do this here. I'm going to go back into the campaign. I've got this email going out after 4 minutes, but maybe in light of that, it's a good point. Why don't we give this like a whole 35 minutes before the email goes out?
Sure.
All right. So if you are having that issue, this way, if you do get a response, you can go to the app on your phone or you can log in on your computer and then change the campaign so they don't get the email after they've texted you. Now, why is it giving me a null here? I tried to type in.
Do the time. Yeah.
I think because I typed it and I didn't choose from the pick. That's why. Okay. So now we've got an email. We've got a text. We've got our day 2 conversation starter. Let's see what that looks like. So I may go edit this out. I don't want to kind of belabor this. I'm going to go through now and change out the ones that I need to. Conversation starter on day 4. I'm going to call attention to that because one of the main points of this was to get homeowners into your fold and to get them listing with you. You can see on day 4, just curious, do you currently own a house? I'm asking because the market is really acting with a big inventory surge. So this one I would leave exactly as is because it kind of plays into the point of this campaign. So this is an example of pulling listing leads out. The day 2 had to do with financing. So I would adjust this to say, I would ask them how they're planning to buy. Are they a cash buyer or are they going to need financing? And if they need financing, I know a handful of local lenders who really understand investor financing. Can I link you up with one of them? And there you can generate a conversation with your investor, with your lender partner. So but that's it. I will go and adjust some of these. A handful of these we could probably leave as is. Like this one, just checking to see if you'll be getting the email updates, that kind of thing. But a handful of these we do need to change to fit our niche. Last thing I'll do is I'll toggle my campaign active. And now anytime somebody comes in with that hashtag, they're going to get this text, this email, and I will make sure that I change the stuff that happens afterwards just to fit this niche a little more. Now, the second thing we're going to do, and I'm convinced that this is a very powerful 1-2 punch. The 1-2 punch being quick, smart campaign. And then for longer term smart campaign, we use the property alerts and let them function as the thing that keeps our name and one of the things that keeps our name, face, brand in front of people. So I'm going to go now and create a hashtag alert. And the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to go back to Marketing Autopilot. I'm going to go to the search alerts section. And then I am going to first make sure I don't already have one for this because I do use this example from time to time. Nope, I don't. And then I will create an alert. I'll type in that hashtag. Hashtags drive everything around us. Hashtags rule everything around us. Cream, get the money. Dollar, dollar bill. Sorry. You don't know the reference, Annalisa? You have to.
Say it again. I was reading a question. Sorry.
You weren't listening.
I'll buy that for $1.
I went into some
That's
Wu-Tang.
RoboCop.
I went Wu-Tang on you. I know you. I know if you were listening, you would have appreciated it. All right. So hashtag.
You know me and my Wu-Tang.
Yeah. All right. So income properties, scope. This will be for the whole company. So anytime an income properties hashtag comes in, we are going to send the multi-unit properties in the county. So right here that come up. And then the easiest way to find these multis is just to use the income option. So I bungled that up a little bit. Where's my property type? Listing type right here, income. So there we go.
So really, it's all about the Benjamins.
Yes. Yes. Cream, get the listings. Automated alerts, y'all. All right. So that's good. I think I got it. Daily, all income properties in Pinellas, they came in off the income properties. And like that, I consider this to be a pretty good drip campaign over the long term. And this kind of plays out as we watch the other campaigns we've built, like the Waterfront campaign. I was peeking at that this morning, and I went and took a look at how many people had reached the client status. And I want to show this to you guys really quickly. So I'll go to Smart CRM, because it's almost identical to what we're doing today. Same kind of thing. Facebook lead ad. People get an auto text, they reply. We generate a bunch of leads for $2, $3, $5 a piece. And then if we go to the filters here and I say, hey, show me everybody who's made client status off of those leads. And I know that Delia and her team are doing a really good job of moving people along. I can see it in the database. So anybody who's reached client status from the hashtag Waterfront.
Now there's a great question here. Someone's saying, well, how does kdcor determine if it's an income property? My MLS does not have a tag like that. Basically, it's just a listing type or within that MLS, correct?
Yeah, well, you know, all MLSs, they're so different across the country.
Yeah.
So we actually have an MLS team who does a mapping. And if I asked them, I'm sure they would tell me they're looking for a few things. They're looking for like the multifamily type in your MLS. Or apartment and stuff like that. So they're using anything that signals multiple units. Might be interested in get Walt on one of these sessions who does MLS mappings.
Actually, that would be actually super good, I think.
Yeah, because so basically they do like every time they get one, they kind of run through a series of steps to map all this stuff over, and that's kind of the answer, is they use a little bit of human judgment to figure it out. Now, if you do have an issue and it doesn't seem to be working right, let our support team know, and that team can always go look and make some tweaks. But it seems to work pretty well. So I was just filtering for clients created from this Waterfront campaign. You see, it's 21, Annalisa.
Wow. Okay.
So that campaign's been going on probably going back to about 2 months now, mid-February. So these are people who move not only from client status, from active lead, from new lead. Here, let's go to the new lead. I'll show you. And I'm doing this because I want to excite you guys all about this and kind of show that this is documented, it works. So here's a bunch sitting in the new leads bucket, more than should be. But the system is moving them over to active if they interact using the automated behaviorals, or what Delia's team does is they have interactions. So if I go to active, there's 4 pages of these. So that's about 181 contacts. So 181 of those leads have interacted in some way, and the system says, okay, they actually have a pulse and are interacting back and forth. And it's probably 2 months in. I'm going to assume it's a little early to check for contracts for closed. But let's check. But on that client activity, I know that we're going to be able to search in here soon, and we're going to see some activity. So there you go. That says close, but it looks like it came off a lead import. So I'm not going to trust that too much right now, unless it came off of a transfer. But what I expect to see, for those of you who wonder about conversion rates and all this stuff, what I expect to see is going into 3, 4, 5 months, 6 months, we'll see a few dribble in. And if we look at this in February, a year in of next year, a whole season has gone through. Out of this many clients and this volume of leads, we're going to see closings.
And just as an aside, so I know that there was a concern like, hey, my MLS doesn't pull income and so forth. So Dennis, I did jump into your dashboard and opened up your website, and I was wondering if we could use a keyword of income instead of just like the box of income on the property type or options. And you can use income as a keyword on your site. So that might give you some insight into finding different type of income properties that are out there.
Or investment.
Yep. Depending on the keywords your MLS has, I'd give those a shot. Yeah,
depending on what people are entering. But definitely, it shouldn't be hard for us to map that over. So I would definitely open a support ticket and just ask the MLS team to look at that. Yep. They might be able to get that working right for you. So what I just spent the last few minutes showing you guys was, hey, this stuff works. Mostly what's going on is a few initial auto texts, human follow-up when those texts come in, but the rest of this activity that you see here is being generated from a combination of the smart campaign, the automated listing alerts that I just was showing you, the behaviorals, which we don't talk about enough. This is just sort of something kdcor is doing, right? It's kind of just interacting people and triggered by things they do. And in Delia's case on that Waterfront campaign, there is a retargeting Facebook ad running for those people. So I'll just show you that real quick. And guys, give me feedback. I know that I kind of am touching upon this and going recursively back and showing you these same campaigns over and over, but I feel like it helps just give it all context, and it's kind of like a running story of how this works. So here's our Waterfront retargeting campaign. That was just yesterday. It had 25 landing page views, but over the last 30 days, that campaign has generated 277 leads at $2.17 a piece, and then 40 cents per landing page view on the retarget. So 376 people have clicked back through to look at that Waterfront list who interacted with the initial ad. And that just shows you the power of having some retargeting set up.
Right.
So, so we have most of what's set up for this, as I just detailed. We have the smart campaign, auto hashtag alerts, leads are flowing in. And then I will get around to doing a similar Facebook retargeting ad, but I thought it'd be fun today. Let's go ahead and do a Google display retargeting ad that shows a banner and gets people to click back through the initial list. I'll pause here. Any questions that you see, Annalisa, that we haven't gotten to yet?
I don't believe so. And so when we're speaking to the different campaigns that are within kdcor, and we're making these examples that we're showing, like with Waterfront, investors, and so forth, these are all examples of what you could recreate when you take a copy of that conversation starting campaign and finesse it to your own needs. So you might not necessarily find something in the kdcor library called Waterfront campaign or investor campaign. It'll always be that conversation starting campaign as your basis that you can then create around your messaging for something specific for your niche, right? Is that correct?
Yeah, I mean, the conversation starting campaign is designed to be a structure.
Right.
That if you plug similar messaging into it that you see in that campaign, you have a good chance of getting a response. But the beauty of kdcor is you have so much flexibility. You can take and use what you think is relevant, and you can change and add and do whatever you want. You have a lot of flexibility.
And then you'll be able to refer back to the videos to get ideas on the context and information to build into it, right?
Yeah. That initial conversation starting campaign webinar is in the next level. It's in our growth system section, and it's in our recorded webinars. Definitely makes sense to watch that webinar. And I do believe we have it on the YouTube channel as well. For those
and it's posted to both groups for sure.
Yeah. So, yeah. And all I'll say is that the thing works.
It's great. And it's a great way to get a hold of people and just to nurture them a little, more quietly sometimes, depending.
Yeah. So if we look at new texts, a lot of this is what you're seeing here. A lot of this activity is coming right off of those campaigns. I need to get Delia on one of these sessions because her team, compared to where they were probably 3 or 4 months ago, in terms of participation, they are rocking it. Like I can see them in here all working the leads. And I think that's a big part. For those of you who aren't just solo and you have a team, I think one of the things that can get everybody engaged and excited is just getting lead flow going,
right,
and getting that activity of people texting back. It kind of really gets the ball rolling for you. Okay, so let's go ahead now, and we are going to set up a quick retargeting campaign for our investors are the new listings angle. So where I'm going to do that is in my Google Ads account. We do have a step-by-step on how to do this in the members area, but we'll go into the Google Ads account. I'm going to sign on in here. I always stumble and fumble. I usually have most of these bookmarked, but I don't here. 1 second. There we go. Okay. Now, when I say a Google display campaign, these are the banner ads that run all over Google's display network, their network of sites, where the owners of the website drops a little line of code, and then it shows ads that Google has, and they do a rev share with the site owner. So this is millions and millions of sites, gives you the ability to get a lot of exposure fast. I will mention that we do have a kind of cookie cutter version of this product that is effective and popular in the kdcor marketplace. I think it's the Google display branded retargeting. So what we're going to build now is something similar to this, but we're going to make it niche to this income properties idea. What this service does is it just puts your name and your website link back in front of people. And it, if you just want to click a button and have what I'm about to do done for you quickly and painlessly, that is an option in Marketplace. So, but let's go in here. We are going to go into our campaigns page. I'm going to take a quick look. The St. Pete condos, this campaign, the income properties, has done 10 leads. We ran this ad on Google too for $16.93 each. So just for reference, that same offer is being run on Google. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to click the plus sign here to start a new campaign. I'm going to do a website traffic option because I just want people to get back to the website, and I'm going to use display. And then I'm going to choose a standard display campaign. You can do Gmail and show your ads in people's Gmail account, so you know, on a smart display. I don't know if this is available to all advertisers yet, but if you see that, that has actually worked fairly well for me too. It kind of is Google's all-encompassing display. And you could choose that option too, and it kind of makes it a little quicker to set up. But I'm going to do standard display. Hit continue. You could put I skip putting the website in. I can do that in a minute. A campaign name is going to be income property retarget. We will do United States and Canada. We will do not conversions. I just want people to see the ad and do viewable impressions because it's a retargeting ad. We'll spend not a lot, $5 a day. And then we're going to get down to this part here where it says audiences. And here is where we're going to pick all of the people who have visited, who have hit our site, and to show them this ad. Now I can get more targeted on this and create an audience of only people who have visited specific pages. So if I only wanted the people who click the income property ad, that's fine. But in the interest of time, and I think it works just as well, I'm going to show this income property offer to everybody who hits the site because I don't have another display retargeting ad running right now. So I'm going to finish this ad, guys, and then I'm going to go back and show you where I built these lists. Okay. And again, this is all documented in the members area. But I'm going to go and choose all Forever Florida visitors. I'm not going to do this targeting expansion. This is Google trying to spend money and show the ad to people who aren't in that list. And I only wanted to show the people who visited my site. My viewable CPM, $10 is safe. Sometimes I'll show you an estimate. Yeah, that should be fine. Probably get away with 5. Let's see. I just want to make sure on the right side that it gives me some number. Yeah, so it's probably going to come in lower than that. Now it says create your ads. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to choose a URL to send people to. So I am going to want to send them back to the investment property list. I'm going to build a quick squeeze link to do that. So I'm going to go into the lead engine, the main URL. Let's take a second here. That county, listing type is income. And then if the lead comes back in, I can say Google as the source, Google retargeting. If it does become a lead, and I'm going to leave the property views before registration to 2. So they are going to have to register if they get here and they click on this squeeze link. And then I'll use the same hashtag. It's going to be income properties so that they go into that smart campaign that I just created. I'm going to generate the link, and then I'm going to use the top link right here and feed that to Google. Now my images right here and logos, you're going to want to upload. It's going to do a scan of the site and try to find some stuff. But you're going to want to upload maybe your logo. I have some recently used in here that I can use. And since this is an income kind of offer, I'll use these ones that had a little money attached. You can actually search for images in Google's library. They have stock images. Here we go. I got to make my screen a little tighter. Here we go. Select 2 ratios down here at the bottom. I will choose the logo. Select 1 ratio. Oops. I got to use that as the logo. You can see up top, it'll actually give you a warning if you don't have a logo chosen anywhere, but I'll select that. What else? What else? I'll just use this one that looks like a fixer-upper. Okay, so for now, that'll be okay. That one too. And what Google will do, there's the stock images I just mentioned. Google will take these and they'll kind of spin them out on the right side here and make a bunch of different versions of the ad and start showing them to people. So we'll do Pinellas County opportunities, Pinellas investment properties. You can do a couple different versions of your headline. I got lucky on both of those. They were exactly 30 characters. Long headline is search, see all currently listed investment, multi-unit investment properties. In the area now. So I could have a few different versions of that Google will spin up. Hundreds of opportunities. This is kind of our second line description, browse hundreds of opportunities, starting from the low 100s. And then business name, you got to put your company name in there. If you have any compliance stuff that you need in your ad, you could do that up in the description line. It kind of puzzles me that they only give you a few characters. I actually have to abbreviate the actual name of the business in order to make it fit. But to make the ad, fit for Google, we got to get it in there. And that's about it. You can see on the right what it looks like. And again, this is going to show all over Google's display network. And what we did in this case, again, is I said, hey, anybody who visits the website, go ahead and show them this ad. Like we're going to run with this offer after they leave. But if I wanted it to be more targeted, I could have built a more custom targeted audience. And I'll show you how you would go about that here in a second. So create campaign. Again, $5 a day. And what we're going for here and what we're starting to build out is a bunch of different angles and campaigns. We have our waterfront. We have some of the other things I've talked about. Now we've got this income property, and people are landing on Forever Florida's website, but then they're leaving and they're seeing ads on Facebook. They're seeing ads on YouTube. They're seeing it on third-party sites like CNN if the retargeting pixel is dropped there that day. And we're creating this effect where to the general public, it looks like Forever Florida is a big deal and is everywhere in the area. So it starts to build trust. It also calls back in people who might have left and weren't ready to transact, but 6 months later, they're seeing your ads. And coming back. So where I go to build these audiences, I go up to Tools, Audience Manager, and I click plus here. And I can do website visitors. And I would do it based on people having hit the page URL for my income properties in the past. So let's kind of take this link, put it in the browser. So if I only wanted people who saw my income properties list to see that ad, I can create an audience and say, hey, it needs to have the hashtag. I'm doing this small. It'll look small to you guys, but up in my browser, I'm copying. It has add HT equals income properties. That kind of identifies that it was for this campaign. So I could do it based on that and say, hey, the URL they landed on had to have that in it. Right. And then I can create that audience income list visitors. One caveat with all this with Google is that you do need a certain number of members in the audience. I think it's 100 or 1,000 before they'll show the ad. And that's part of the reasons why I just said, hey, let's just show it to everybody for my display ad. And I would probably lean towards saying, hey, just retarget all your site traffic and then rotate through the niche offers that are being retargeted. You can see right here where it says too small to serve, seller leads page visitors. Mm-hmm. My subdomain too small, so it needs to be 1,000. But if you do all site, you should be able to get to 1,000 pretty soon. And now we've got this bucket of 1,700 people who can now see, we can kind of retarget. It's almost as good. It's not as good, but it's almost having like a sub email list. They say that all the money is in your database, right? How big is your contact list? How big is your database? Well, this is a version of your database. It's a section of your database. So a lot of people in the industry have caught on and are actively building retargeting lists. If you ask Shane over at On Street Mortgage, the guy's obsessed with it. I don't know if he's watching right now, but he's right, because he treats them, he's got lists everywhere for all over the place, and he targets them constantly with focused offers. So
I get those a lot.
Yeah, from him. You're probably seeing Thanks.io stuff too, right?
All the time. Yeah.
So, I mean, it's very cheap. It's a very cheap way to convert people. We're talking about, to get this Google ad that I just showed you on the screen to show, we're talking a few pennies, or a fraction of a penny. So, and it's just lots of leverage because you set it up one time and it just runs till you tell it to stop running. And you have and
basically, just to repeat, we're building like a sub audience off of the initial touch of Google or Facebook, whatever you put into that Google retargeting audience, right? So it's going to be addressing those people, keeps inviting them back to your site low key, might have a little hook to bring them back, interact, build trust, and so forth.
Yeah, they came to the site, now they keep seeing you. That retargeting at its best. I kind of did that whole thing backwards. The last thing I'll mention is that you do need the Google Snippet, the Google script installed. So if I go to Tools, go to Conversions, you need the global Google Snippet installed. I do show this in the members area, but the way you do that is right here under Tools, Conversions, and then you start to build one out. Just show you quickly, just in case anybody is trying to follow this webinar and copy this. So we just do general. The whole story is that you can put a conversion tag in, so Google will track your conversions and the global snippet. So Google lead.
And this is separate than adding your Google Analytics to kdcor. This is a different
Yes.
animal.
Yeah. This makes Google's ads platform know that you had activity. So
yeah.
You don't use a value one. So choose these options. And then this tag right here, in order for the retargeting to work, you just need the top tag like so. And you're going to want to put that in your web and IDX settings. So if you're going to do that, I would reference the training inside of Next Level, because I walked through it in order. I kind of just did this backwards. I did the ad first and then installed the snippet, but the best practice would be to actually install the snippet first. Ooh, I'm a little disoriented. I'm trying to find where the website settings are. I'm not used to this.
It's a little different. Yeah, it's a bit different.
Yeah, here we go. I found it. And then right in here in the custom head, you could put that snippet in your website settings. But what I just showed you guys was the last kind of 10 minutes of this webinar, pretty next level, pretty like, you don't need it. But if you've done the other things, if you got leads coming in, you've got your smart campaign and your automatic hashtag alerts going, and you want to start to refine and add additional elements that will help you get more conversions and conversations, then we start to go into this retargeting stuff. And then the final thing, if we're mirroring our growth system, that we would want to do to convert people is to send something cool weekly. And in this case, if you were working this niche, it's so simple. You just say the investment property of the week. Just once a week, you just say, hey, here's my deal of the week. Here's the thing that I think, for whatever reason, is priced really well, has lots of opportunity for, both appreciation and cash flow. And here's why. And you send that email, you do it as a video, and you can build a really nice business around this niche. If you go this extra mile and you actually send something. So,
which can take maybe 30 seconds to a minute to get it out the door.
Yeah.
Maybe 5 minutes to make a video. It's a very small time investment.
Yeah. But my advice would be, if you want to really, really kill it, dedicate like 2 hours and go to the property and take a video and talk and pretend you're showing an investor and talk about why you think it's a good deal and sound excited about it. That was.
I think you had a video about that a couple of years ago where you were running up the stairs in like a Florida condo or something. I vaguely remember that.
Yeah.
I'll have to find that.
Yeah, this was kind of what I did in Philly. I don't even remember where the channel is.
It's been a long time. But it was interesting and it grabbed my attention.
Let's see if here we go. I had one where I played dead on the floor and my son chased me around, but I gotta dig that up. But here was so this is 2008, guys. So
that long ago.
Yeah, so you used to be able to put, I think you still can. I just put some video behind and I'd walk through. And then people I had a list of about 150 in my Aweber account, who just every Saturday I emailed out my latest video and, generated a nice volume of nice little REO deals. I was at an REO broker, so stuff can work. Yep. All right. So that's it. Any other questions or content or anything you guys want to have addressed today? Hopefully.
I haven't seen anything new come through the Facebook group. I know a lot of people have been asking questions. I've been trying to fill those on the way. I think we're caught up on questions in the chat with the Next Level group.
Good. Yeah, I'll just remind everybody, the actual methodology here is detailed in this growth system section of Next Level. And of course, there's a lot of other stuff going on there. So if you're not already a member, a 7-day free trial, you can get that from the marketplace under the coaching section. For those of you who are members, as always, just feel free to reach out anytime if there's anything we can help with in the main mastermind room. I'd be very curious to see what niches you're working. And if you hit any snags setting up these funnels, let us know.
Awesome. Thank you so much, everyone, for being here. And we will be back tomorrow.
Great. See you later.
Right. Okay. Bye.